AI technology is advancing far faster than we imagined, and we've both been replaced by the latest variations of robots. The JoelBot 3500 and the Travbot 3501 have been replaced by the 4000 models. Today, the bots are equipped to share the latest in AI news. GPT-4 is out, and a team at Stanford has figured out how to train their own AI based on ChatGPT 3.5. Get this, for just under $600. Microsoft and Google announced their latest AI offerings. Midjourney releases a big update, and hands are back to having 5 fingers. And AI helped one dude make money just by asking it to set up a business. Ready to hop into the future? Join us on episode number 4 of the Bad AI Show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Who's bad?
And so much has happened in the AI world just since you last heard my voice that version 83 of ChatGPT is now out, and we're not really
actually, what's happened is we're all dead now. So congratulations. Didn't take very long for ChatGPT to kill us all. And
the humans are dead.
Yep.
The humans are
gases, dead. And we poisoned their asses.
So let's jump right in with the news for this week, because it has been a heavy hitting week for news. ChatGPT 4 is out right now with all kinds of new features. I mean, we were just getting used to ChatGPT 3.5 and what it could do. And now we're discovering that this thing outperforms most students on the bar exam, like 90% of people.
Well, ChatGPT 4 now actually has passed the medical exam, the lawyer exam, all kinds of exams. And it's working on a few other ones that are really interesting. Take a gander in ChatGPT 4. What it can do, it's multimodal, and you hear that word and you go, huh? Well, all that means is it can input now video, images, audio, and text. So it can do think, it can see, it can listen. It's crazy what this thing can do, and then output ridiculous things as a result of what it thinks it knows.
So if ChatGPT 4 just came out, Microsoft confirmed that they have secretly been using GPT-4. Does that mean that the people, are there financial institutions that have access to the next generation of this that are using it for, figuring out what to trade and what's going to move on the markets before everybody else?
Some of them are already using that, and they were using ChatGPT 3.5, the API for that, because the API for ChatGPT 3.5 just came out like 2 weeks ago. Right. And then all of a sudden, some dude in Germany who works for Microsoft said, oh, ChatGPT 4 is releasing next week. And the whole world was like, what? ChatGPT 4? And then boom. And then what was interesting about the release of ChatGPT 4 to me, Joel, was earlier in the day, Google came out and said, hey, we're going to add AI into Gmail and Docs and all this other stuff. And they came out and talking about that. And then just like right after that, ChatGPT, OpenAI came out and said, oh, we're doing a live stream in a couple hours to talk about the release of ChatGPT 4. And so any sort of buzz that Google might have had around it just sort of destroyed them.
Yeah, they came right in. This is part of that multimodal thing you could see here with the new one. You could put an image in and it detects. It gives context, says this image, features this person doing this in this type of environment, and it gives words to the pictures. So you'll be able to know which pictures are worth 1,000 words and which are worth only 300 with GPT-4.
See, which is good, because I have a problem on that. I'm actually trying to solve right now, because I used an AI program to create this thing. It's got this really awesome background around it, but I'm like, how do I describe that? Because that's not how I described it. But now it looks awesome, and I want to make it into a video, but I don't know how to describe it. So eventually we'll be able to do that. Now, some of the ChatGPT 4 features are not readily available to everyone yet, but they're getting there, and it's crazy what's going on with this, Joel.
Well, this is what makes it even crazier. Apparently at Stanford University, there is a group that created an AI model called Alpaca. And for under $600, they were able to create and duplicate, using AI, the ChatGPT 3.5. They built their own model on this. I actually picked up on this story from a resource that I subscribe to called Neon Pulse. They were initially, people were saying it would take 8 years to accomplish what OpenAI did for ChatGPT, and this group made Alpaca with ChatGPT 3.5 performance for under $600 in just weeks. So how valuable are these services then on their own if AI can replicate itself to create your own AI services?
Mm-hmm. So one thing about Alpaca was they were essentially able to do that for $600, and they can essentially install that on their own computer without having to utilize the main servers. And so they've been able to condense it, put in a lot of information within that thing, and utilize the sort of the framework of that. Cost them $600 to do that. So you made a comment when we were offline about how some of these AI projects are worth billions and are raising billions of dollars in funding. And then Stanford University launched an alpaca for $600. You can't even buy an alpaca for $600.
There, I don't have the tweet to paste into the screen, but I'm going to read it. This guy named Eliezer Yudkowsky from this article wrote, "I don't think people realize what a big deal it is that Stanford retrained an LLAMA model, llama, into an instruction following form by cheaply fine-tuning it and inputs and outputs. It means if you allow any sufficiently wide-ranging access to your AI model, even by paid API, you're giving away your business crown jewels to competitors that can then nearly clone your model without all the hard work you did to build up your own fine-tuning data set." That's powerful stuff. How do you put it out there and protect it?
Yep. This is very clever though. It's large language models and it's a llama, LLAMA, right? So it's sort of a play on words, pretty smart. But just kind of jumping around on some of our stories here, there's another story that was really interesting, how a man just basically said, "Hey, I want to tell an AI bot, I want to make as much money as possible." And what was it? They had $1,000 or something to spend. One dude had $1,000 to spend. Another one had less money to spend. So there's people using ChatGPT now to help them come up with their own business models. But is this the one where the dude is selling T-shirts and has his own business called AI Aesthetic?
No, this is a guy that created an affiliate marketing site called Green Gadget Guru, making content around sustainability products. He gave ChatGPT for a budget of $100 and told it to make as much money as possible. So it created, logos for him that he then picked, told him how to market, use Dolly to make a logo. You could check the whole thing. This is in our show notes, by the way, for episode number 4, aishow.io/4 is where you can find this. And we can actually take a look at his website. It's right here. It's greengadgetguru.com. And this is the site. You can even see the AI Midjourney image that he used on it. All of this is based on what ChatGPT 4 told him to create.
Yeah. And then it's coming up with all these different blog posts, and it's basically it's an engine that they're using. Here's their business, and now we need to create content. We need a social media marketing strategy. We need all of this and drive it. It's wild. So there's some really good marketing prompts out there to use ChatGPT 4 with. And if you do a search on those, maybe we'll put some of those in the show notes. Some people are actually taking those prompts that they're creating and then making business models out of that and selling those prompts as a system. But it can save you hours and hours and hours on this. Just a matter of fact, I had a friend of mine who needed a website for their they were doing home construction stuff. He came here, helped paint my stuff. He's like, he needed a website. I was like, dude, let me see what I can do. And through ChatGPT and then using WordPress, I was able to build this guy a website in less than an hour. All the content done, everything up and running. So it's crazy. If you have some skills that you've built along the line on, that you have, and you can augment those with these technologies, that's where you really win, because it's going to make the smart people a lot faster. It's not going to make the dumb people great. You still got to learn some skills. AI is great as an augmentation tool to make your life more proficient. And in a lot of ways, it's really spectacular what it can do.
Well, the big tech competition is on right now. Google, as you mentioned, announced that day features for Gmail and Docs that are coming, especially around Google Workspace. Eventually, it'll hit the personal services on Google, but right now they're going to be launching out with Gmail, with Docs, eventually Slides, Sheets, Meet, and Chat. So it'll help you write. Just go to Google Docs and say, help me write, and it will do that. In Gmail, tap an icon at the bottom and ask it to generate a draft, elaborate, shorten, bulletize, adjust the tone. And then, of course, if you're going to want to create a presentation, you'll be able to do that. Develop a spreadsheet that has all the fields and formulas that you need in it. Google's going to make that all available to enterprise users here very soon.
That's going to be spectacular. I don't know. I've not had a chance to play around with it yet. I don't even know that it's fully functional for what I'm trying to do with my domain name, because it's an enterprise level tool. The Bad Crypto Podcast is not. That's more of a personal one. So some of those will come into play later. So basically, ChatGPT 4 comes out. It says, we're doing this. Actually, no, Google comes out and says, we're doing this. Then ChatGPT 4 comes out and says, no, we're doing this. Then Microsoft says, oh, yeah, we've been doing that with ChatGPT 4 for a while. Check out all the cool shit we're doing with Copilot.
Copilot can write your emails and let you skip meetings. I'm all about that, skipping meetings. But, I'm not exactly sure how the bot summarizes, taking notes and all that. But apparently Microsoft is all in as well. And the race is on. Is Amazon going to announce some sort of shopping assistant AI that, like,
a lot of their stuff in there probably already is smart, like AI type of stuff, right? We know Alexa is not that smart yet, but they got to be tying this stuff in and trying to piece it all together and make everything more intelligent. I love the idea to be able to, we've been seeing some of these tools for a while when we're in meetings. They'll actually have some sort of AI bot in there that's taking everything that's being said in the meetings and then making notes of it and finding the most important actionable items and then giving you sort of a summary of that. So we've been seeing some of that stuff populate out, but now seeing how all of these things, how AI is tapping into all of this stuff. It's just like, I think personally, Joel, I think last week was the biggest week that we had in technology since maybe,
since iFart, definitely since iFart.
Well, I would say on a serious note, probably it's the biggest news in tech probably since the tech bubble crashed in 2000, right? I mean, there's just so much that happened, just like boom, 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 all in one week. It was just insane to watch. It's just like you're starting to talk about what's going on. Oh, and then something new pops out. You're like, what? So much populated last week. It was insane.
Including this Midjourney version 5 is now out, more photorealistic images, and apparently 5-fingered hands. I mean, look at the quality. This image that we're looking at here points out the lighting and skin effects from Midjourney 5. The quality is definitely increased. I guess Midjourney version 3 was August. Version 4 came in November, and it just, look at this. Look how amazing these images. Look at that hamburger.
Right. But think of this now, folks. Think of that, what Joel just said. We're in March. In 9 months, we've had ChatGPT 3. We've had Midjourney 3, Midjourney 4, Midjourney 5 come out since August, right? That's like 7 months, man. 8 months. Like, that's crazy, the development and how quick this stuff is moving. So can you imagine where we're going to be a year from now? Now think about this too, Joel, with with Midjourney 5, you no longer need to use the words like we were telling you last week. If you watch the Midjourney for beginners with ChatGPT, or I keep saying ChatGPT, there's so many of them, 5 and 4 and this and that. With Midjourney now, you can literally just type in a descriptive sort of nice word salad about what you want to see. It's like, I'd like to see a castle on the top of a hill with glistening trees and the sunlight and the golden hour. And I'd like there to be a river. And I'd like there to be nice rocks by the river. And I'd like it to be far distance photo, wide angle shot. Like with Midjourney 4 and beyond, you'd be like, castle. I'd like this castle to be in the style of this and that. And so you have like this sort of these specific words and a comma in between them. Now it's like you can be descriptive. You can write in 2-3 paragraphs worth of descriptions into it to get exactly what you want in Midjourney 5.
So I just told Midjourney to create what you just said right there. This is also important that apparently Midjourney can now do hands correctly. I tested it myself. I went to Midjourney and I said Ace Ventura holding his hands up as if to say stop. And this is what it did. This one looks a little wonky right here. You can kind of see one of these fingers is he lost the tip of it.
Are you sure you were on version 5? Did you go into settings and switch it to 5?
Oh, I might not have. So I'll have to check that.
What you want to do, folks, is if you have the paid version, is you want to do /settings, and then you can go in there and change it so it automatically does version 5. But I'll find that version 5 doesn't always give me exactly what I want. Like this image behind me that's moving, I was able to create these in Midjourney 4, and they were a lot better results that I liked better. Midjourney 4 more so than Midjourney 5, because these Midjourney 5, I couldn't get them to be anywhere near as cool as I was coming up with these. But yeah, so that's what you want to do. Or you can just type in --V space 5, and that'll give you version 5 if you're doing the paid version.
I did not do it. But this is the one I created for you first, the castle on top of the hill with birds flying by and rivers and all that. So this is a place you'd want to live. And I just instructed it to do Ace Ventura holding out his hand with version 5 right now. And it's rendering it as we speak. I'm going to be real curious.
It does seem a lot slower because it's using a lot more processing power. It is a lot slower, I've noticed. But that's okay. You get amazing images. Now we're at 46%. This thing's going pretty quick. Actually, what I like to do, Joel, if I'm doing a bunch of images, I'll actually turn off my fast mode and I'll turn it to relax mode. I'm doing the paid version. And then I'll be like, so what I did with all those other images, like I want a hexagon in the middle, and I want, sacred geometry and nodes, and I want connected nodes and abstract image around me. I want the black hole, blah, blah, blah. And then I made one, and then I turned on relax mode. And then I just hit the remix button like 15 times in a row. I went to sleep, woke up the next day. They were all done. It didn't take any of my hours.
I like that. That's a good tip. So check it out. This is on version 5. The first image is right. The second image, he's got 5 fingers and a thumb. The third image looks right. And the fourth image, he's got 5 fingers and a thumb. So it's still not perfect, but we're getting, the fact that there's some on there that are correct, closer approximations to reality is good with me.
It's good with me too, Joel. If it's good with you, it's good with me. So as a recap, ChatGPT 4, Google comes out, Microsoft comes out, Midjourney 5 comes out. Like, this was an epic week.
One last story, which is amusing and entertaining. Smartificial, creepy AI news anchor with skills of 1,000 presenters is unveiled in China, but there's a major catch. What is the catch to it? Well, it can only respond from a pre-written script, and that pre-written script includes the Chinese Communist Party's official line. So it is a paid and bought for news anchor in China.
Yeah. And actually on my other show, the Web3 show, we have a digital AI presenter also. We're using this system from Digital Twin Protocol and can program it. It can answer questions. But what's cool is you will actually get videos from it, and then we place those in our shorts, or we put them in the YouTube shorts, not in our shorts literally. And then we can put them on our long form video content as well. So it's like, we're seeing a lot of really wild stuff popping up on all of this, Joel. And it's like, man, if this stuff evolved this quickly since August, dude, like, where are we going to be 3 months from now? It's really hard for us as futurists to be able to predict the future when the future moves so quickly.
Because my crystal ball's been broken anyhow. This is the Bad AI Show Founders Pass. It is now closed off. You cannot get one of these except from somebody who has one. They have been airdropped to those who correctly filled out the form and are in your wallet. If you missed out on that, we're really sorry, but that's first mover advantage to being part of the show. Some people, Trav, are reviewing this podcast on
Really?
iTunes.
Already? We got some reviews?
We got some reviews.
They say, wow, these guys suck ass. They need to do something else. Don't quit your day job. Although this is a day job.
Doesn't say that at all. One of them is from Vizcano, the bad boys of Crypto Do It Again. I couldn't resist, so I asked ChatGPT to write a 5-star review of the show in the form of an iambic pentameter. Bad
nice.
show. You're so clever and bright with hosts Sir Lords Joel and Travis in sight. Your insights into AI are truly grand. You make it easy to understand. Each episode you share your vast knowledge with wit and humor. It's never a slog. Your guests and topics, they are top notch and make my knowledge of AI simply pop. So 5 stars I give to the Bad AI Show. You make us see that even with the funny name, you're informative, smart, and never lame. Now go subscribe and listen, watch to the show. That was nice.
That was good.
Yeah. So we have something for those of you that will go and give us a 5-star review on iTunes. And that is this cool looking golden Bad AI Show NFT. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It's rotating and sparkling.
And if you get the golden ticket, then you get a free trip to the Willy Wonka factory, I guess. What does this do?
I guess I don't know if there's any golden tickets or chocolates, but there is this NFT, and the only way that you can get it is by going to iTunes and submitting a 5-star review. You can ask ChatGPT to write it for you if you want to. You can be funny, you can be serious, whatever you want, but screenshot it once it goes live. If you go review on iTunes for the show, once your review is live, you usually get an email notification. But if you don't, check in a day or two, screenshot that, and then email us at badcryptopodcast@gmail.com with
maybe they can forward that email they got.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Just forward the email that you got when your review's live. I just don't know if it always does it. So if it doesn't, forward it to badcryptopodcast@gmail.com. If it doesn't, write us, but include your wallet address, your Ethereum wallet address, so that when it comes time, we can drop this to you. And we thank you kindly for taking the time to do so.
That's true. And if you give us a 1-star review, make sure to send that to us as well. And then we'll send you back this. It'll be rotating around. It's a nice little, you can make it an NFT if you like. You don't have to.
All right. For those
we'll send you a bag of dicks. We'll send you a bag of dicks.
Those of you that are listening and not watching, you'll just have to use your own imagination as to what Sir Lord Travis was showing there. We got a lot of stuff to cover. And more coming your way soon. So,
and I would say this: if you're tuning in, listening to the podcast, we thank you, leaving reviews and stuff on all that. But then also cruise on over to the YouTube channel. We're trying to grow that, so make sure you like those posts. Hell, just even go over, watch, like it, leave a comment over there too. We like that as well. That doesn't get you an NFT, but it's really nice and it makes the algorithm work nicely. So you can do that if you're enjoying it, the process. Then give us some love back. We appreciate that.
And it lets us know that you indeed do know how to stay bad. Might not be able to talk like me, but you know how to stay bad.